5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
All right, so you're going to get 4 opportunities to quit, and then you will have opportunity to show us what you're doing. The first time you're going to do it is you're going to do it in silence. The second time you're going to do it, I'm going to play one piece of music. You would not have heard it for the first time. Then the second time, I'm going to play another piece of music that you would not have heard before. And the third time, I'm going to play a third piece of music. Right? And then after that, you will decide and let me know which one you want to show. Yes, please? Go on, decide first. You have a choice in silence. Choice 1, choice 2, or choice 3, okay? Alright, so the first time you're doing your movement sequence is in silence. Huh? So I will know when you're ready when you're in your position to start. Everybody doing it together? Everybody's doing it together. And we got to watch. Okay, so let's see everybody in their positions. Some interesting beginnings, middles, and ends. People are listening. All right, let me know when you're ready, when you're still. Stand by. Begin. I'll know when you finish when you freeze, right? So if you're not finished, don't worry about it. People still moving that way. All right, very good. So this music may or may not work, but what I want you to try to do is to notice as the person doing it, why it does or doesn't work. If it enhances your idea, if you have to make any adjustments in order for it to work, what do you have to do? So that you understand the process of how music how you have to negotiate with music to get your idea across, okay? All right? All right, so even though the music starts, you get to determine when you start your movement. You don't have to start your movement with the music. You can let stillness be an effective tool to communicate an idea, right? Especially if you got 7 minutes. You don't got to do all the movement in 1 minute, right? Okay, so ready? Starting positions. All right, not bad. So register in your mind how that felt. Got that? So you have silence and you have choice number 1. Stand by. Stand by. Stand by. Let's see your positions in space, frozen, so I know you're ready to begin. Remember, you do not have to start with the beginning of the music. You do not have to. Right? You have that option. Ready? Which we may or may not like, or we worked it, and then there's one more. Yeah, one more music choice. It's a workout, baby, workout. No, 3. And silence is the option. One more. Ready? Stand by. So, as you make your choices, those of you who were observing, do you have any comments you would like to make? Those of you who are sitting there watching. Okay, but same. Right, say more. Yeah, what were your observations? Come to the mic. You're the official photographer, right? Yeah. Introduce yourself. So he's the photographer for Community Development Department. So he was like all up in the
Well, good afternoon. My name is Sean Griffith, and just for the latter part with the music, when they play the music, a lot of people seem to go off key. Like if you don't mind, I see a certain group over here. The other two, they were pretty good. But from the time they introduce the music, they start to pick up the pace because of the rhythm of the music. And yeah, so they tend to
sway off.
yeah.
So what he's indicating is that when the music played, whatever your original intention was, it got changed. The very music, y'all were like sucked in, addicted to the music, right? Yes. You had a comment?
Basically, it would have been what he's saying.
But you were also saying it was good.
Yeah, it was beautiful. The way in which the original idea done in silence adapted in terms of mood and speed of movement.
Did it get better or did it get different?
In some cases. So the first piece of music I found worked with a majority of groups
Right.
more so than the second piece of music was. that was a struggle. The second one was a struggle for a lot of persons.
A lot of groups,
yeah.
right?
Yeah, and the last piece. Many more groups were able to manage that.
Okay.
So
All right. You wanted to say something, but you were observing. You're gonna be managing a group. You have to be able to say.
I can go over at what they're saying,
Yeah,
the same
but
thing.
what
Especially last piece. Last piece with my group, it was a little difficult because of what they were doing at first. A silence, then the second, but the last piece was the worst.
Anybody else over here? Mark?
Yeah, agreeing with what everybody else said, but that second piece of music, man, I was like, whoa, no, that doesn't even reflect what.
So what was it about the second piece of music that was particularly difficult?
Okay, in terms of the musical makeup, the first one and the last one had that tribal feeling, whether it was East Indian tribal or African tribal. The one in the middle is European. It was just.
It's a piece of music that's created for a particular step.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
So it doesn't lend itself to any kind of interpretation.
Yeah. Right. So there's no interpretation with it. It's just jazz, jivey, quick steppy, anything like that. But nothing.
You have to do what the music tells you.
Yeah, that one you have to do the music tells. The other two you can interpret it any way you wanted to. But that second one was like, yeah.
Right. You wanted to say anything? Anybody else? I was observing. Cameraman. All right. So you have an opportunity. Who would like to try in silence for everybody else to see?
1 out of 10?
See, my girl. Silence people. Nobody else? Nobody else?
Silence group.
All right. All right, so we're observing and we are going to make appreciative comments. Leave the critical comments to judges. Appreciative comments. All right. Snare? I thought it was a verbalization. Any comments? Any comments? Did you miss the music? Why, what do you think they did that? Was it they were able? They used the sound. What else?
They pulled the actions they used, kind of pulled you into the performance so that you were just there
They were
with them.
focused, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're really focused on their intention. Did you get the story?
John, I had a question. For the creative process, right? What do you suggest? Right, John. For the creative process, what do you suggest in terms of not getting married to the music and letting it drive, let the rhythm drive the message? Do you have any tips on how to not let that kind of be at the forefront as opposed to not losing the intention?
Well, always have several music options, right? But also see how far you can get with developing your idea without music. Without music first. Sometimes you can trick it. Sometimes you could use one piece of music to drive your narrative and then see if another piece of music that is related to the theme can do something else with it. But usually, if you are able to just separate yourself from the music long enough so that the idea is germinated in your brain enough, then you can get a better sense of that. If not, if you could find somebody to compose the music for you, or try to do other things with the music. I know like some of you are very much into mixing music, so that can help also. But they're not afraid to enhance music with sound, to do different things, because the judges are, if everything was the same, the judges are not going to remember everything at the same time. But if you do something different, at least the judges are going to remember that was different, and hopefully in a good way. Right? Next group. Okay, so all the groups who wanted to perform to the first piece of music. You need to remember what the music was first, did you say? The first one was the East Middle Eastern piece. Nobody like that? So nobody want to do one? To me, the first piece of music gives you the most scope, the last piece too. But the first piece of music gives you the most scope. So try it, too. You want three? Nobody else wants to do two? You want three? Which one?